U.S. intelligence is the servant of the American people. What it does in the United States and abroad, it does in their name and on their behalf. In our open and democratic society, spies should not be making their own rules. The American people should have a voice in how U.S. intelligence operates and what the moral limits are. Ordinary citizens have no need to know the details of specific operations, sources, or methods, but they should have input on how our country conducts itself overseas and at home as it fights the war on terror. The first step, I believe, is for them to know what the world of intelligence is really like and what the moral issues intelligence professionals often face are. That's my objective here. Public awareness must be raised before the country can have a well-informed, serious, and nonpartisan debate on the moral dilemmas of spying. I hope my book opens some eyes and causes some hard thinking. A note to the listener: several pieces of this book are redacted in its print edition. Whenever redacted material appears, I will state redacted. Introduction. A Career Under Cover. God is not averse to deceit in a holy cause. Aeschylus. Hateful to me as the gates of hell is he who, hiding one thing in his heart, utters another. Homer. When I was growing up in Iowa, I wanted at various times to be a lighthouse keeper, a catcher for the New York Yankees, a fishing guide, an actuary, or a lawyer. Never would I have dreamed that I would actually turn out to be a spy. I was born in the small town of Lamars, Iowa, but was raised in West Des Moines, a suburb of the capital Des Moines. After graduating from high school, I went to the University of Iowa in Iowa City, the only school to which I applied. My test scores seemed to indicate that I had a quantitative bent, so I completed a double major in mathematics and economics. My heart was not in either of those subjects, however. In my freshman year, I took a Russian course and discovered that I had a passion and aptitude for foreign language study. Beginning with my sophomore year, I studied French, eventually earning a paid technical assistantship in the French department. Language courses gobbled up all my electives, but proved to be far more enjoyable to me than my classes in differential equations and econometrics. I was not yet thinking in terms of ever using foreign languages professionally. My motivation at the time was simply to be able to read foreign literature in the original, something I continue to enjoy to this day. Two events in my college years had a decisive influence on the future direction of my life. The first involved my cousin and best friend, Mike Joint, who was also a student at the University of Iowa. Mike had joined the U.S. Navy Reserve right out of high school, and during our freshman year he suggested that I might like to take a look at it also. I enlisted and was accepted into the Reserve Officer Candidate Program. Mike and I attended weekly drills at the Navy Reserve Center in Iowa City and spent our summers in training. When we graduated, we were commissioned as ensigns. I served aboard guided missile destroyers and frigates, deploying several times to the Mediterranean, the North Atlantic, and the Caribbean. My knowledge of French came in handy, and I accompanied the Commodore as his interpreter when he made calls on French naval officers and government officials. For several weeks I was assigned as the American liaison officer aboard the French flagship Le Cossard during joint exercises with the U.S. Navy. These experiences in the Navy reinforced my interest in foreign languages and travel. They also planted the seed for an eventual career in public service. The second influential event of my college years was the receipt of a Christmas present from my uncle, Dr. Robert Joint. Bob gave me a copy of Alan Dulles' book, The Craft of Intelligence. This was my first exposure of any kind to the world of intelligence. The book fascinated me, but it did not quite seem real. Even if spying existed as Dulles described it, it would certainly be out of reach for a boy from Iowa. It